Another selection from Khalil, Jesus the Son of Man, his words and his deeds as told and recorded by those who knew him. The man from the desert. I was a stranger in Jerusalem. I had come to the holy city, to behold the great temple, and to sacrifice upon the altar, for my wife had given twin sons to my tribe. And after I had made my offering, I stood in the portico of the temple looking down upon the money changers and those who sold doves for sacrifice, and listening to the great noise in the court. And as I stood there came, of a sudden, a man into the midst of the money changers and those who sold doves. He was a man of majesty, and he came swiftly. In his hand he held a rope of goat's hide, and he began to overturn the tables of the money changers and to beat the peddlers of birds with the rope. And I heard him saying with a loud voice, "Render these birds unto the sky, which is their nest." Men and women fled from before his face, and he moved amongst them as the whirling wind moves on the sand hills. All this came to pass in but a moment, and then the court of the temple was emptied of the money changers. Only the man stood there alone, and his followers stood at a distance. Then I turned my face, and I saw another man in the portico of the temple. And I walked toward him and said, "Sir, who is this man who stands alone, even like another temple?" And he answered me, "This is Jesus of Nazareth, a prophet who has appeared of late in Galilee. Here in Jerusalem, all men hate him." And I said, my heart was strong enough to be with him with his whip, and yielding enough to be at his feet. And Jesus turned towards his followers, who were awaiting him. But before he reached them, 3 of the temple doves flew back, and one alighted upon his left shoulder, and the other 2 at his feet. And he touched each one tenderly, and he walked on, and there were leagues in every step of his steps. Now tell me, what power had he to attack and disperse hundreds of men and women without opposition? I was told that they all hate him, yet no one stood before him on that day. Had he plucked out the fangs of hate on his way to the court of the temple?